Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Hawk. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday and you're excited for today's challenge. So welcome everyone in the chat. We've got Akeen, Marissa, Eric, Lucas, Tim, Edmund, Rosie, Jack. Welcome everyone. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Just a little PSA. They're still doing some construction outside, so sorry if you can hear that. I think the mic is pretty good though, so you may not be able to, but just if you hear anything in the background, that's what it is. Anyway, so I'm excited for today's challenge. We're going to be working on CC libraries. So let's head on over to behance.net/challenge/XD. This is where you can find all things related to the XD Daily Creative Challenge. Let's scroll on down. First, of course, if you are not already registered, go ahead and sign up with that big blue button right there, and you will get notified every day of what the new challenge is. So let's scroll on down, see what we got. So CC libraries. What I want you guys to do today is design a desktop experience that organizes your client contact information. So think this is like a CRM, if you've ever heard of one of those. So client relationship management. So if you think of like salespeople might use those to keep in contact with their clients, see like when they last contacted some clients, if there's any potential clients, if there's current clients, things like that. So just keeping track. So we're going to add some info next to each client and focus on using CC libraries to drag and drop client logos. And if you've never used CC libraries before, that's totally okay. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks in XD today. So if you want to, you can get that starter file, just hit that get started button, and then it will take you to Dropbox. You can hit direct download and it will start downloading. That file will look a little something like this, and I'll hop in there in just a second. First, just want to scroll on down. So this is where you can find where to sign up for Discord. Discord is an awesome community where you guys have been sharing all of your designs this week and last week. So thank you so much. I've already got a few picked out up here that I'd like to review at the end of the stream if we have time. One in particular I think is really cool. So stay tuned for that. Let's hop on in there. Oh, and here is the Discord link, bit.ly/XD Discord if you would like to sign up. So definitely do that. So this is Discord. If you have not seen it before, we've got all of our channels over here. You guys have been posting a lot of your awesome work. Oh, these two I haven't checked out yet. So links to your Behance creative challenges or just screenshots or whatever you want to share related to this particular challenge. If you have anything else design related and you want feedback on it, you can put it in any of these other channels. We've got the 5-minute challenge. That's a relatively new one that Howard is hosting. If you have any questions, post it and ask a question. Feel free to just browse around, hop on over into all of those different channels. Cool. So let's go ahead and open our starter file. So day 6, Tuesday, here's what we're going to do. Like I mentioned, focusing on CC libraries. So that's actually, it's not like within any of these panels. It's actually up here. So you can go to File, Open CC Libraries. So this is where we're going to be focusing today. And like I mentioned, we're doing sort of like a client database. And this is only like self-facing. So none of our clients would be able to see this. So this might be beneficial if you want to have something similar to LinkedIn, but you don't want to necessarily be friends with everyone on LinkedIn or whatever. So this is just for yourself. You can add notes about all of your clients and such. So this was a neat example, and I like this one because it's very clean and you can just very clearly see what the tags are by the colors. So we've got client or like potential lead, something like that. And then this one by Nicholas, this one was actually more of tracking potential candidates, so like for interviews or something. But I think like the layout is kind of similar to what we would be going for. You can add the name of the client, the company, where they're located, and some other tags, so things like that. So yeah, feel free to explore those. And of course, I've got some tips down below if you want to read those. And be sure to share on Behance and Discord when you're done. Behance with that keyword XD Daily Challenge. Yeah, so thanks everyone who is just joining. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I just got one artboard today. We're just really going to focus on CC libraries. So I'm not going to be doing a ton of prototyping. I'm really just going to focus on this page. So let's go ahead and just start adding our background. So I'm doing this as a desktop. I think you can do it as mobile or tablet, probably not smartwatch if you wanted to, but I think desktop is good for this type of thing because we want to be able to see like a large database of all of our clients, a huge list. So the more screen real estate, the better in this case. So I'm just adding a little border, as I always do. Okay. Then in the top left, I'm just gonna say clients. Got some of my fonts already. This font is a new one. We've got New Neue Haas Grotesque. That is a tongue twister. So we're gonna say clients. I'll add a CTA here for like adding some more clients. And then down here, I just want to have like my whole list. So we're going to use some repeat grid for that. And then I'll be using CC libraries to add in some of the client logos. So that's the plan. So in the CTA, I'll say something like add client. Again, I've got some of my fonts over here already selected. And then, you know, I always like to have a separate artboard just for some icons and assets. You can obviously put them over here in components as well. I like to be able to kind of just throw them there, kind of messy. I heard someone call these like artboard crumbs before, and I like that. So those are my crumbs for today. Leftover crumbs and such. Okay. So we've got the plus icon. Let's just group all these together. And remember, like we learned last week, if you want to, you can switch this toggle for padding. And so whenever you update like this text to say like add clients or here, oh, there we go, here. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really work too well with the plus, but whenever you add some more text, that padding will stay the same. So that's great for if you have like a ton of different artboards and you don't want to update all of those individually. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add, actually, so on this side, maybe like 1/3 of the screen, I want to have a detail view sort of each client whenever I click on it. So I'll make this like just 1/3. And then I just want like these two corners to be rounded, just kind of match down there. Okay, that looks good. And then I'll start adding some of my rows here. So let's add a background for the rows. And yep, they're working out there. Can you guys hear the construction? I hope not. Okay, let's round these corners. Very just rounded today. Okay, and then I'll add some of the titles. So we'll say like the things you might want in this sort of like CRM sort of tool is like your name, or the client's name rather, their email, phone number, and status. So like if they're a potential client or they're current, something like that, and maybe location. And then once we click into it on the right side, that'll give us more details. Okay, so below that, let's start to add, I'm just gonna do one at the top and then we can use repeat grid for the rest. So I'll say like client 1. And then we can use repeat grid, make this super fast. Say like that many or so. We'll say client at gmail.com. Okay. And again, we'll use repeat grid on this. There we go. And just kind of match these up a little bit. It's a little bit off. And there we go. Phone number. Let's add that. So just like 800, 1, 2, 3, 4. Something basic. Line that up right there as well. These I think I don't want to stand out as much as the actual like content inside the database, so I'm gonna bring that opacity down just a tad bit. So I'll just continue adding that repeat grid right here. Okay. So I'll fill in the rest of this as well. And what I'm gonna do on the left side here, I wanna start filling this in with some logos. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and use the repeat grid. So I'll put this like right here. And no border. It doesn't actually really matter what color is inside this, because what I want to do is automatically fill this in with a bunch of logos that maybe I already have in my CC libraries, or I just have like in a folder in my Finder or something. So there's two ways that you can do this. So the first way that I think is kind of easier is to just drag, if you're doing like a lot of different logos at once, like I am right now, I would make a repeat grid and go like that. Okay. So make your repeat grid first. And then what I'm going to do is open my Finder and locate whatever folder it was. So it was like these colored logos. And then just select all of these. And I'm just going to drag them into the first square in that repeat grid. And it'll automatically fill in the rest of that repeat grid. So once it starts repeating after you like don't have enough. So I think this is where it started repeating. So that is one way to get all of your logos in. Another way is, so let's say up here in the top right, I want to add my own account photo, like a profile photo sort of. So I'm gonna just add a circle. So you have to add, if you want it to be masked inside something else, you have to add a shape first so it knows where to go. So let's just leave it like that. Again, it doesn't really matter what color it is. I think it's helpful just to add a color first so you can see where you're trying to put something. And then let's kind of align that. I'll add just a little like drop down arrow right next to it. And then we can go up to File, Open CC Libraries. And so here, I've already made a folder of this particular day. So this particular live stream, the assets that I need. So let's say, you know, we've got all of the logos in here. Maybe I adjusted these in Photoshop or Illustrator or something. And obviously with libraries, you can adjust things in separate apps within Creative Cloud, and they will update across all of your other libraries. So if I updated these in Photoshop, they would update here as well. And all I have to do is just select one, and then I'll just drag it over to that circle. And sometimes it'll show like a little loading circle. That one was pretty fast, but it might be blurry for like 2 seconds or something, just while it's loading. So, and then it masks it automatically, which is really cool. So the cool thing about this is that as opposed to the repeat grid, so this one I just dragged from my Finder, and if I update any of these, it will not update these because it's not linked, if that makes sense. But this one, since this is from the CC libraries, if I update this circle or this guy to someone else, this one would be updated. So that's the benefit of using CC libraries. Yeah, so very neat. You can make groups within CC libraries if you want to as well. So yeah, feel free to just explore that, play around. Okay, so I'm gonna keep adding just some more data in my fake database over here. I think these need some lines in between. And same thing, we can just do repeat grid all day long for these. So just dragging this down. And that's a little wonky. right there. Okay, so that looks good. Maybe I want to be able to click into each of those. So let's add just a little arrow icon on each row. This can go right there. Cool. So same thing, repeat grid here. Drag this down a bit. Sometimes it's hard lining these up. Okay. Now let's add a status. So let's say like potential client, something like that. Line that up. Make sure we're doing a repeat grid. Bring that down. Yeah, that's right. And then just one more. So we'll do location. And obviously afterwards you would want to go in and update all of these so they're not just like Lorem Ipsum text. New York, let's say, is where this client lives. Put that right there. Use our repeat grid. So I'll drag this down just a bit. And man, this would have taken me so long if I was not using repeat grid. Like, dang. Okay, so at the bottom I want a little carousel, or not a carousel, what are these called? An slide indicator. I forgot what the word is. Anyway, I want the slide indicator at the bottom, and I'll use the left and right arrow icons that I already have here. Just flip that. Okay, so this section over here looks pretty good. I could add like a search icon if I wanted right there. Now let's focus on this left side. Eric said, love the colors, by the way. Thank you, Eric. That's so kind. I feel like I always go for like pastel-y colors or like vibrant colors. Just very, very me, I guess. Okay, so now let's say we've selected one of these on the left side and I need to add some more just sample data over here. So maybe it's like Flower Emporium because I recently worked with a flower themed sort of company. And let's say we want to have like just some more info, like past meetings and notes for that meeting or something. And then we can add these two icons. So just align them kind of the same axis as the title right there. And I'm just gonna copy these, the line and the arrow, bring that over here. Oh, the line is so faint, it's really hard to see. Okay. Bring these down. And I think right here I wanna add some more like sort of profile avatars of maybe the people that work there. So again, just to make this a color so we can see it. And I want these to kind of just be like 3 or 4 overlapping. And what we can do is use our repeat grid. So I want them to just overlap a tad bit. I'll do like 4. And then same thing here. I've already got a folder of my people. So you can either go right in here from your Finder, select those people, and then just drag them over and it will automatically populate. And then I'll ungroup, just delete like that one. Or you can go up to your CC libraries. So again, I think it's easier if you have more than like 2, if you're doing a repeat grid, to just drag them from your Finder. But if you do want them to be linked, if you want to be able to update them later on, definitely use your CC libraries, because this drag and drop one will not be updated. Okay. And let's see. Let's add a little plus icon, like if we want to add another person to this list. Okay. So that's running out of time, but basically right here, we would add maybe the date. So like February 19th, 2020. And to use repeat repeat grid on this as well. And then we could add some notes. So like misc note goes here. And drag that down as well. Okay. So that was very quick. Very quick little CRM sort of client relationship management desktop app. So play around with that, CC libraries, play around with the dragging and dropping from your Finder, and yeah, just have fun with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and Command S to save, and if you want to, you can export either batch or selected if you have an artboard selected. And then let's hop into Behance, see what we got. So I already have this project started for all of my creative challenges these 2 weeks. And we could add it down here at the bottom. But the main thing is you want to go over to your settings tab, and then within that settings tab, go over to the discoverability, and be sure when you're uploading, have that keyword XD Daily Challenge. So this is the main one, XD Daily Challenge, so that I can find your work and give you feedback if you want it. So let's go ahead and save. I didn't add anything, but I'll save anyway. So I am going to search some of you guys' work. Let's see what we got. I'll just refresh here. We got one more. Okay. So I already have a few pulled up. This one is by Maggie. Thank you so much for sharing, Maggie. Love this background. Very nice. Okay, so this was the one from yesterday. So let's look at this. I'll make this full screen so you guys can see a bit easier. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. Can I go back? I love that the eye was rolling around when you hover over it. And the girl moves too when you hover. That is so cool. So we've got our little 20-20-20 rule. Let's look at that one again. It was pretty quick. So the eyeball moving around. I love that. It's nice to add those little touches of delight, like fun little micro interactions. Makes it just such a more user-friendly experience. I would totally use this. That is so awesome. Thank you so much, Maggie. How do I get out of this now? Okay. Awesome. That was so great. Thank you, Maggie. This one by Diva, I thought this was such a good idea. I don't know if something is already out there like this, but I haven't seen something like it. So she said this is, she used the hover functionality to help people with different types of color blindness. So that was a cool spin on this this challenge. So let's watch. Make this full screen. So we've got our little widget right here, and you can hover over it. Let's see. Oh, I missed it. View screen as, so we've got red week, green week, blue week. That is so cool. So just depending on what kind of extra help you need, if you can't see blue or green, that is so cool. Like, you should totally make this a real thing. Oh my god, so awesome. Okay, that is about all the time that I have left. I wanted to review a few more, but I'll try to get to them tomorrow if we have time. I'll also be looking on Discord, so if I didn't get to yours, I'm sorry. I'll check it out over there. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. Today really flew by, man. Alright, so be sure to stay tuned. In about 5 minutes, we've got our 2-hour XD live stream with Liz Wells, and I'll be back here again tomorrow at 11:30 Pacific time. So stay tuned for that. Bye guys!